Hey everybody, this is the Facebook Ads with the Twang podcast. I'm your host, Ben Blackman, and today we're going to be talking about what they don't teach you in Facebook Ads school. Here comes episode 78. Facebook Ads with the Twang is dedicated to taking the often overcomplicated process of creating simple, successful Facebook ads, breaking them down step by step in less than 10 minutes at a time. Let's get started. Okay, welcome everybody to episode 78. I'm really glad to have you on this episode, and it's part of it's because we're going to be talking about more than just Facebook ads. Okay, I wanted to, there's lots of courses and all kinds of things about Facebook ads out there, and most of them deal with just the fundamental parts or the input part of Facebook ads, right? They don't really, or they spend 80% of their time there instead of spending 80% of the time on developing the right offer, right? The right lead magnet, the right offer, so you can get to making sales as soon as possible. I mean, that's where the 80% of time should be spent. I'm not saying you don't need to understand the input and the fundamentals of that part, but if you don't have a great offer, then it doesn't really matter how good your ad is. So I kind of wanted to talk to you about the process, or the funnel as we call it, that people go through. And in case you're listening to this podcast and you're not watching on YouTube or something like that, you might want to check out the YouTube video on it, because I'm going to show you a couple of different processes, just two different ones, and kind of walk you through that real quick. So there's two things just to remember when you're talking about your funnel processes and so forth. Is one, you don't want to skimp, but number two, at the same time, you still want to keep it simple. Okay, so you don't want to make some elaborate process that you'll never get done, because it's just too overwhelming and it just seems like so much work, and it's hard to figure out where to start. But at the same time, you don't want it to be just this one-step process that doesn't actually lead to a sale. So the first thing you want to think about whenever you're creating a process or your ads or anything like that is you want to know what your intention is for that ad, right? Is your intention, I'm going to give you a couple options. So maybe your intention is to get them to join a Facebook group. Maybe it's to, purchase your offer. Maybe it's to get on a lead magnet, your email list, right? Maybe it's to book a call. Maybe you're just putting content out there to retarget people to your offer. Whatever it is, you just need to define that up front so that you are clear on what it is exactly you want them to do. Running an ad just so you can have an ad because everybody says, hey, you got to have ads running, that's not a good plan. Okay. Now, I am a believer that you need to have an ad running every single day of the year, okay, but not without purpose, okay? So having ads running is important, so you definitely want to do that. I just want to kind of talk about the strategy part of that, so hopefully this will help you when you go to start running your Facebook ads. So again, the first thing you need to do is map out your strategy, but keep it simple. So I'm going to show you a couple of different options, and just remember the options that I'm going to talk about and show you are, you can modify these, right? It doesn't have to fit exactly the way I'm saying. Like, in other words, if you don't do exactly what I'm saying, doesn't mean it won't work. I'm just going to kind of give you the outline of that. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, what do you want them to do? Okay, so you've got to, before you can map out your strategy, is you think with the end in mind. What is it that you want them to do? Okay. The second thing is how much are you willing to pay to get them to take that action? So if the action is hey, I want them to opt into my webinar, or hey, I want them to, opt into my lead magnet, or purchase my thing, or, book a call, whatever it is, how much are you willing to pay to get them to take that action? Now, you may not know, right? You might be thinking, well, Susie over here, she says that on her webinar, she gets people to opt in for her webinar for $1, but of course she's in a completely different market than you're in, and you're trying to compare that, right? She's in a super niche market that there's hardly any competition, and you're over here in this market where there's all kinds of competition, and you're trying to compare those two. That's not a good plan, right? You need to figure it out for your own business. Now, if you don't know where to start, that's okay. All right, we all start there, and remember, when you're first running ads, you're trying to collect data. I mean, you're not losing money if the ads don't work out the way you want. You're collecting data. That's the point. Collecting data is valuable. It's extremely valuable, because you're going to learn what to do, what to tweak, and what to not do. So it's okay. Don't worry about that. So how much are you willing to pay to acquire a customer? So let's just say you have a $100 product. Are you willing to pay $100 to acquire a customer, right? Are you willing to pay $200? Are you willing to pay $20? I mean, what's the number, right? So you might be saying, well, yeah, Ben, I've got a $100 product. I can't pay more than $100 to acquire a customer. Well, maybe, okay, that's if you don't have any back-end offers. You're probably right, but you need back-end offers, okay? So you need to know what the potential lifetime value of each customer is, right? So you may even take a loss up front. I mean, I'm just telling you, the biggest marketing and the biggest companies out there, most of them, not most of them, a lot of them take a loss up front just to acquire the customer, so that because they know that what the back end is for them. So you have to know those things, and you may not know everything up front, but that cannot stop you. Okay, you're collecting data, so pay attention to what you're doing and what your offer is. So I just kind of wanted to bring those things up front. The other thing you want to think about is, what are you going to do with the 99% of the people who get on your list but they don't buy, right? What are you going to do with them? Are you going to make more offers to them? Are you going to nurture them? Or are you just going to leave them alone and never talk to them again? I mean, you need to not have a plan for what you're going to do with those people. And that's, a lot of people get stuck there because they're, when they talk to me, they're thinking, well, that's a lot of work, like, yeah, that's what this is, right? But you have to know, you have to figure out what you're going to do with them, because just because they didn't buy up front doesn't mean that they're not going to buy later. Okay. Now, there's some truth that most of the time the people will buy, if they're going to buy within the first 30 days, but that's not true in every market. Some have to be nurtured along, right? For 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is. So think about what you're going to do with the people who don't purchase, okay? All right, now I just want to go through these two scenarios real quick. And so if you're able to look at this when you get a chance, what I'm showing is a basic funnel of Facebook ad to a lead magnet to a thank you page, and then download a report or video or checklist or whatever it is. Most people spend 80% of their time on this, right? The part that doesn't make any money. That's where they spend most of their time. And what I'm going to tell you is that's not a good plan right there. That funnel right there is not a money maker. Okay, because that's where it ends for most. They might have 2 or 3 emails, but either they don't have an offer, or they have a very weak offer, or they don't continue to offer. Because I have this theory out there that people are afraid to make more offers. Maybe not consciously afraid, but they're afraid to make offers because some people won't like it, or they'll unsubscribe, or if I keep putting offers in front of them, they're gonna get mad or whatever. And I'm like, that it's your business. It's your obligation to make as many offers as you can, because that's the only way that your business is going to continue to function, is by making offers out there. And it doesn't have to be incongruent with, making offers doesn't have to be incongruent with, how you conduct your business. It's not disingenuous to make offers, because you're trying to help somebody in one way or another, whatever the product or service is that you're selling. So we take a little pride in that when we offer it to people as many times as they can. If they don't want it, that's fine. They can say no. That's okay. It's okay for people to say no. I say no all the time, and you should too. All right? But you got to make those offers. So what I'm telling you is that kind of funnel that I just was pointing out, that's not a good plan. Now, a little more advanced, and for those that are looking at it on YouTube or something, you might go, oh, that seems complicated. But it's really not. Let's just talk about it. So what I'm showing is a funnel where you've spent 80% of your time driving people to your offer, okay, and 20% doing the other stuff. All right. So this is an ad to a lead magnet to upsell them to an offer with a long follow-up sequence. And by the way, we might go over 10 minutes here, so that's okay. So the way that I have it laid out is you have 3 Facebook ads, because you're testing ads, right? Okay, so you have 3 Facebook ads driving them to a lead magnet. The lead magnet takes them to a thank you page. You then make an offer to your audience. If they don't purchase, that's okay. You have email follow-up sequence for 30 days. And if you're thinking, hey, that's a lot of emails, I'm like, yeah, that is a lot of emails, but that's what you do, okay? And you're thinking, well, I don't want to email them every day. Well, I mean, how else are you going to make your offers, right? I mean, when they first get on your email list, it's your best chance to convert them, right? But you start small. Maybe you just do the first 5 emails, right? And then you add 5 more a week later, and then you add 5 more after that until you get to 30. I mean, keep it simple, all right? Do one thing at a time. You don't have to do it all at once, right? If you have ads running every day, you can keep adding parts of this process in. And then you start doing 3 retargeting ads, right? So the people who aren't opening up your emails, because remember, 70, 80% of the people that are on your email list are never going to open up your emails, but you can still retarget them, right? And we'll talk about that on other episodes, which you can certainly check out. But you run the retargeting ads. Now, after the 30 days, maybe you just nurture them until it's time for you to make your next offer, right? Maybe your next offer to them is going to be in a month, or 2 months or whatever it is. But you don't stop nurturing them. You still want to be in front of them. Even if they aren't opening your emails, they still subconsciously see it come into their inbox. Right? Not everybody, but a lot of them do. They'll still see it. So when it comes time to make an offer and you're running a retargeting ad, even though they haven't been opening up your emails, they still remember who you are. So I wanted to just kind of talk to you because they don't really talk about this stuff in, when you're learning Facebook ads. Okay. Where do they talk about it? Well, we talk about it in my Marketing with a Twang membership. Okay. You can come check that out at marketingwithatwang.com and try it out for 7 days. And see if it's something that's for you. Okay. Right now it's, I just have a small core group, but I'm getting ready to blow the doors off this. So if you want to come check that out, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I would love to hear from you if you have any success with this stuff. If you're implementing it, just, feel free to contact me. That's okay. And that's all I got for this week. So I hope this episode was beneficial for you. I enjoyed doing it, actually. So I will see, and I really enjoyed all episodes, but I really enjoyed this one because I love the strategy part of it. So I will see you guys on the next episode, which is episode 79. Talk to you soon.